real talk, just rap pack. Besides that, nobody I trust.
Back again like I never left. Young Sinatra, that's to the death. We turned up till we go deaf.
Welcome ladies and gentlemen to today's video, which is going to be some maintenance on my Leon. On my 300 horsepower Seat Leon FR, as the title says. But yeah, basically I'm going to be changing the oil, I'm going to be cleaning out the air filter, and I'm going to take you along with me once I unlock the car. There we go. Bam. So what I'm going to do is check my oil and top it up if I need to. I've got some in the boot, which I'll show you in a second, and then I'm going to give this a clean, as I imagine it's a bit dusty. So I'm going to wash it out, cover it in some oil filter. I think it's the K&N spray. Put that all over it to make sure it's not breathing in any dust that it shouldn't be. Yeah, and go from there. We've acquired the kitchen roll of truth. So now, I'm just going to, oh, Jesus. Quickly clean this one. So it's nice and clean. It's always worth making sure your car is level while taking the oil, because if not you'll get a fake reading, which to be fair it's pretty level. I mean, it's on a road, slightly to the left maybe you could argue, but it's not too bad. Right, let's see where it is. So we're looking at, yes, it's just above minimum, it looks like there. If you can see, it's just like there, all the way around, sort of in the middle. So I'm just going to top it up a little bit. Let's crack this open. Oh, tight. Whoop. No gunk, which is always good to see, nice and clean. Let's get the oil out of the boot. I always carry, that's water, I always carry 1 litre of spare oil, Castrol Edge. It's a bit dirty. Yeah, Castrol Edge. Always have 1 spare litre in the boot, because you never know what's going to happen. And also it's just good maintenance, that if you ever go on a long trip, you can quickly top it up before you go. How much have I got left? Well, I'm probably going to put this all in, to be fair. There's only 250ml left. I would say thread the needle, but it's not exactly hard. We'll let that sit for a second so it can go down the engine to the sump. I think it's the sump. That'll go in the bin now. There we go, nice and clean. You can see the min and the max there. All right, let's see where it comes out. Look at that, just underneath the ball, sort of just under maximum there, it looks like. Do that again just in case. Reading. So yeah, it's just under maximum, which is pretty much where you want it. I like to get it right up to the ball normally, right up there. Just because it does burn a bit of oil and it can't hurt to just slightly overfill it. That is the oil topped up. I'll put this in the recycle. Can this be recycled? Sweet. So, topped up the oil, get rid of that. Time to clean the air filter. Sweet. Easy. Right, cool. Maintenance number 2, cleaning the air filter. So what I'm going to do is take it off. Use my splitter. So you can either use a socket or you can use a spanner. I'm going to use a socket. Is it... I lost my 10, I bet it's a 10 as well. Let's try a 9. Nope, 9's too big. Let's hope it's a 7, because I've lost my 8 as well. Oh, it's a 7. Right. Right, so you want to loosen this clamp. There we go. So now, this should just plof. There we go. If you get in the light, you can see how dusty it is. Look at that. That's proper grim. So we're going to wash this out, cover it in K&N oil spray, and then reinstall it. Nice, easy bit of maintenance that anyone could and should do. Especially if you have either performance air filters or just aftermarket K&N air filters, which need to be cleaned and reused, rather than just recycled and thrown away and then put a new one in. What is good, that's obviously what's gone through the air filter. Inside the tube is completely clean, so it hasn't been breathing in anything it shouldn't be yet, but it's a good idea to make sure you stop it before it happens. So making sure you clean it out, cover it in oil spray to make sure anything that would normally be sucked through isn't, as they don't normally come covered in oil, which is, you don't want to put too much on, obviously, because it'll be saturated and will go through your turbo, and that won't do your turbo any good. However, you need it to stop the dust from going through. Might quickly check my pads. See, there's a bit left, but they definitely need changing.
Jake, isn't this your dream car?
No. I'm just checking my brake pads all the way around. And a good advice is if you can see them through your wheels, which on this side is actually harder because of how the spokes are going, but on the other side I can see it quite clearly, is that if the pads are the same thickness as the actual brake pad itself, so like you have the pad on the brake pad, and if they're the same thickness or lower, they need changing. And then obviously if you run out of pad, then you're just pushing metal on metal, and that's just the end of the world. The fronts are reasonably low. Oh, the backs are even lower, I think. Oh yeah, the backs are low. As you can see there, the thickness of the pad shouldn't be thicker than the actual pad on the brake pad. However, as you can see, the gap really isn't very large there. Right, so what we're going to do, once you've rinsed it out, and it's looking lovely and clean, it's looking so much better, you want to leave it to air dry. You don't want to blow dry it. I don't know why, you just don't. You just want to leave it to air dry, and then once it's dry, yeah, we'll cover it in the K&N oil spray, and then reinstall it. Now it's just a case of giving the air filter a coat of air filter oil from K&N. You want to give it a sort of a light dusting. I don't know if it's better to go up and down or left and right. I'm going to try left and right. See, it has that like red tinge. What that'll do is it will soak into the fibres and sort of give it a bit of a thick coat. So when it's breathing in, it will go through the oil, which will give like a nice protective layer. So any dust that comes in, it will catch it. So next time when you go to clean it, it will come out again instead of going through your turbo and in your intake. So it's a lot healthier way of doing it. You don't want to put too much on, just a sort of a light thin layer. Try and catch any bits you've missed. Like this top bit. So now what you want to do is leave it to dry. I'm going to put it in the engine bay, as I'm not driving the car for like another couple of days, so it can just dry in the engine bay. But yeah, you want to leave it to dry so you don't suck any of this oil through your turbo. Get some kitchen roll to get rid of the oil around the plastic. Let's take it back out. There we go. Just get rid of the excess oil around. Get rid of the excess oil around the edge. Around the inside of this little bit here. Look at that. Lovely and clean. That is what you love to see. Right, now, line it up. There we go. Right, now I just need to tighten it up. Oh, toolkit. Just a little bit of righty. I've got the wrong bit on it. Right, now I've got my 7. I should be able to tighten this up. There we go. Lovely, that's not going anywhere. Right, so that is the oil checked and topped up. That is the oil, that is the air filter cleaned, dry, re-oiled, reinstalled, ready to go. Just some good maintenance. I do want to do a oil change on this car as well as a fuel filter change on this car at some point. So I might film that and do a little how-to on how to change your oil and your fuel filter and your oil filter, which is down there. If you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next one.